We all know what Chainlink can do in a bull market, and for anyone that's new to crypto, over 4,000%. But the story on everyone's mind is Chainlink going to do over 4,000% going into 2025? Is Chainlink going to explode in 2025? We're going to look at higher time frame technical analysis, and then with traditional markets, we can't see what's going on in the background, but with cryptocurrency, we can look on chain. There's over 30 suspicious wallets accumulating Chainlink right now. Crypto is one of the highest risk, most speculative assets within the history of humankind. Guys, if we don't do this properly, we could lose everything. Think of tens of thousands of different asset classes, tens of thousands of different cryptocurrencies. Most of them, I assure you, are going to go to zero. So we talk about speculative crypto where we could lose everything, but we understand on the flip side, we could also gain life-changing money. And that's what we're here about. So think of tens of thousands of cryptos, the cryptocurrency lottery. What I say about speculative assets is as they become less speculative and more driven by use case technology, that means the more people are going to be using them and it's the safer that your bet is. So I'm not saying go and put everything into Chainlink, guys. I'm saying let's analyze Chainlink together, both fundamentally and technically, and then see what we come out with at the end. So we're going to do things differently today. We're going to start with the fundamentals, guys. Fundamental analysis within cryptocurrency, it is quite a strong thing, especially if you know how to do it right. It's quite difficult to be researching all of these projects. But if you've just got a 5-point plan where you can go through, you can research different news events, you can research the charts, and then you can build yourself an allocation or a score to give you an indication as to whether something's got a higher chance of moving or whether it's more speculative, and then you need to allocate your risk accordingly. So we'll start with the fundamentals. And one thing that is special about cryptocurrency, this is the one thing that I love about cryptocurrency. With traditional finance, what happens? All of this stuff that goes on in the background, you do not get to hear it. The little guy, I'm the little guy, you're the little guy. We don't get to hear of this until annual tax reports, annual returns, or any kind of earnings are released. With crypto, this is why it's different. On-chain transactions, you can go and have a look at any time, any given time, what is going on behind the scenes within cryptocurrency. And that's what people do, guys. So Chainlink, over the past 5 days, 30 newly created wallets have withdrawn 1.37 million link, and that's valued at 34.1 million. And that's just from Binance alone. So this is a list of all their wallets. This is all their holdings. This is the holding value, and that's how much has been withdrawn. So what's happened, we can look at the time of writing, Chainlink's trading at 24.04, and that's up 34% in the last month. Now, this is where fundamental, guys, is a driving factor behind our thesis, because we say speculative, and when something becomes less speculative, it becomes less risky. So that means you can allocate your capital accordingly. You can allocate your risk accordingly. This is the new technology. Earlier this week, Chainlink released Smart Value Recapture. That's SVR, a solution aiming to allow DeFi solutions to recapture non-toxic maximal extractable value, which is MEV, from the leading oracle's price field. So this is one of the reasons why we've had a bit of transactional value going on from a fundamental perspective within Chainlink. And it's always good to look at the fundamentals to try and find out if there is any of the driving factors before we get to the technicals. And this leaves us finally with the technicals. So we're on the higher time frame. Chainlink's trading at $22.82. So it's pulled back from its $24 that we just previously mentioned from the fundamental analysis. And what we're going to be doing now is looking at Fibonacci extension tools to be able to predict where we think that's going to be a sticking point into 2025 for Chainlink. So what I'm going to do, guys, is my Fibonacci extension tool from this low down here to its swing high and then back to its bear market low. Now, there's two levels that I'm going to be looking for, two key sticking points on the Fibonacci extension tool. My two key sticking points are the 1272 extension, which is sat at $72. Then the 1618, which is sat at $90. So you've got a big round number there at the 1618, $90. If you're shooting for the moon, you think it's going to hit the 2618, you can hit the 2618 on there. Then we can have a look where that takes us. 2618 all the way up here, $143. So those are the extension levels. That's the only thing that you've got to go by when you're in price discovery on Chainlink. So if we delve into the current technical analysis, what I'm going to do is bring up my moving averages. Are we above the 200? Are we below the 200? Is the traffic light system becoming in play? Anyone that doesn't know what the traffic light system is, go back and watch my previous videos. What I'm going to do is bring the 3 moving averages up and show you exactly what I mean. So we've got the three moving averages. What are these three moving averages? We've got the green. This is our 200 weekly moving average. We've got the yellow, which is our 50 weekly moving average. And then we've got the 20, which is the red, 20 period moving average. So one thing that you can see on here, this is as positive as it gets. You've got a weekly golden cross on the Chainlink chart. So every time you get a weekly golden cross, you haven't had one here, but every time that you get a golden cross, let's go at the daily and see what happens when you get a golden cross. So if we just zoom out, you can see here, guys, this is what happens when you get a golden cross. You get a big surge in price action. This is the daily chart. The higher the time frame, the higher the conviction. So when you're on the weekly chart and you get a weekly cross, that's got a bigger conviction than what the daily cross has. So you can see on the weekly, traffic light system is nicely in play. So that's positive. So are we likely to get a pullback? What we're going to do is we're going to use our fib extension tool on current price analysis. And we're going to look for one thing. This swing, back to this swing low, we're doing exactly the same thing. I want this swing here to be bigger than this swing here to show that this swing's got conviction. Once we get a pullback, we're likely to get a wave 5. So you've got wave 1, you've got pullback wave 2, you've got a wave 3, which is confirmed that that's bigger than wave 5. So you're likely to get a pullback. Where you're likely to pull back, previous resistance to act support, and then another move to the upside. So that's what I'm expecting on Chainlink. In the next few weeks, we could get a pullback to test this support. We've got a 1272 extension, so we know swing 3 is bigger than swing 1. That's good. So just monitor this pullback, guys. We've got support. We've got support sitting at the lower end, $16.46, and at the top end, $18.02. So how could you play this if you're not in Chainlink and you're looking to get in Chainlink? We're monitoring this pullback back to this support level. You're not putting all your eggs in one basket. Position yourself, DCA at this point. If it falls back, you've got DCA position. And by not putting all your eggs in one basket at this level here, it means you live to fight another day if price pulls back to here. If price pulls back to here, you live to fight another day. But more importantly, if that does happen, then when you get the reversal, you've got yourself better entries. So just be mindful of that. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Get my words out. Right, okay, if you did find this useful, guys, remember 2025, we're going to be working together in 2025. So I'm going to be driven by you. You let me know in the comments what you want me to cover in the next video. Let's educate ourselves together. I'm going to continue to learn in 2025, and I'm going to continue to teach you everything that I know. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye from me.